as the month of love. And I guess it's actually because we have Valentine's and everything. So we are talking about, this month we've been talking about the rules of engagement, palace protocols, and today we are looking at the rules of love. But before we go into that, I'd like to say thank you to all who gave towards our sister whom we announced last week that is a bit not feeling so well. We're able to raise 165,100 even for her, because we mentioned that everything that comes in, or rather that came in last week, will be sent to her, and we're able to raise that. We are so grateful. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving. Thank you for showing that indeed we are one family here, and we are so grateful for that. And yes, in the chat I can see, PF wishing us happy marriage day. Yes, let's just wish ourselves happy marriage day. It's good to celebrate love, and when love is being celebrated, I love love. I love when love is being celebrated. So let's just go into the chat and just wish ourselves that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your PF for reminding us. So we'll just go straight into what we have today. I have 3 amazing souls that will be doing this together. We know that the rules of love, it differs from people to people, from relationships to relationship. And we also know that love means different things to different people. I'm sure quite a number of us here, right? I want to believe quite a number of us on the call today have heard about love languages. And when I'm having sessions with people, I actually tell them, yes, you may know the love language, but it's always good to go deeper to know the dialect. Because for me, I can say my love language is acts of service. And you may think my acts of service is help me arrange the house, help me carry the chair, and means absolutely totally different from that. Maybe, girl, join me in, supporting the home financially. That may be my own, dialect when it comes to acts of service. So it's always good to really know one another and really go deep to understanding the people you are working with. So today it's a special one, and we're going to hang out with 3 amazing people. Like I said, three spectacular, phenomenal individuals. So I have a top singles coach, Kemi Tony Akinwumi. Please, I'd like you to spotlight on on the people as they come on, so that people can see all of us at the same time. Yes, I have a top singles coach. I have an amazing coach who helps people to navigate divorce. My doctor, Ebon Fawali. I want her to smile. Oh, yes, we have Ebon Fawali in the house. Then we have another amazing coach who works with the married people. I have, he has 2 caps. He's a pastor and also a marriage coach. I have Pastor Kayode Olutayo, PKO as we call him. So yes, so I'm so glad, to have these amazing people in the house today, and they will be answering some, I'll be engaging them. And I also want us to bring up our questions even as we go into this. A question came in, PKO, as we are about kicking off. And I think I'm going to start from there. I'll have to open up my chat to read that. So this individual is asking for how to navigate this particular season. She said, I'm away from hobby since we got married. So it's just been me alone. Don't know how to go about it. So this person is married. It's just been her since they got married, and she's been alone. How can she navigate that? So I think we're going to open the floor, with that question, because it came up when Shion was asking who has a Valentine, story to share. So I would, want you to speak to that, Pastor Kayode, before
All
we go
right,
into
thank you. Thank you very much. It's a privilege and honor to be here, especially to be on this platform with great people here. I can see Kemi looking ever beautiful. My wife's name. Wonderful. My girlfriend, Ebunlom. Sorry, they said you are now doctor. Sorry, ma. Doctor. How are you? It's good to see you. Praise God. All right. Now, yes, I'm PKO, right? And I like the question asked. Actually, I've loved to ask the person that wrote the question for clarity's sake, because I just don't want to work on assumption. The person said, I've been away from my partner. Yeah. And because when you use the word away, what does that mean? Is it that they are not together, or the husband is nowhere to be found and all this? So when I read that question, also, those are the thoughts that were actually playing up. And if you are the person that asked the question, please, you can give us clarity. You can go to the chat room and give us that clarity, because the question says, so it will be just me alone. Don't know how to go about it. And so when you use the word just me alone, are you saying that the partner have relocated and you're just left alone to cater? Are you catering for yourself? Are you catering for your children? Or are you married with children? All these things are questions that need to get clarity too, so that when we answer this question, it will help a great deal to actually narrow down the solution. Because thank God, this place is the house of Savior, and we are solution provider, as it were. Can you hear me, everybody? Just go to the chat room. You can hear me. Okay, thank you very much. So that I haven't said that. The person said married, but don't know how to go about it. The person has been married, but the person said, I don't know how to go about it. So if I should answer the question generally, yeah, I would say, okay, it depends on the angle you are looking at it from. When you use the word, I'm not with my partner. Now, I like this fact that it is being said that 1 + 1 is equals to 1, not half plus half. I don't know if you understand that. Many people have need to ask the question, why am I getting married? What is the concept? And most of the time I say to people, if you're getting married because you are lonely, yeah, I feel it is a very wrong reason for getting married, because loneliness actually is a spirit and it has to be dealt with. Loneliness, you might be in the midst of people and still be lonely. When you use the word loneliness, lonely is not the reason for getting married, but the word being alone, and that is what brings togetherness. That is 1. 2. The word 1 + 1, there is this philosophy that says my better half is my better half. The word better half means to complete me, but it is one that is an individual that have an identity, that knows where he's going, that defines the purpose, that joins with somebody that is going in the same direction. That now move in that same direction, so that there will be something like synergy in their operation, Okay, so the person said the person just relocated and I've been celebrating Val with my husband, but I'm without him for Val. Wow. Since we got married, since you got married, you have been away from your partner. Yes, that is a very good, would give us clarity in answering the question. Now, it means now, one of the things to do is to ensure that there is open communication. If there is anything about marriage, if there is problem with communication, it definitely will affect your home. Yeah, I've seen so many people, just like when somebody said that we are doing dating, we are dating online and all that, and they're always chatting with one another. They are always doing it. That is what it's supposed to happen. The person should not form busy. I use the word form. A lot of people they're always forming busy. I'm busy in the office. I'm doing this. No, if you love one another, listen, there is need for us to have what we call open communication. You know that open communication, talk to one another, chat with one another, and all this thing is very, very important. Now, you at least now that you're in Nigeria, if you have love language, you know your love language. If your love language of your husband is gift or yours is gift, thank God, Praise is saying something that you can hire him. It will help you to deliver a gift. That is a very good one, you know. And he said, my bill is just $1 million. Is that okay? It's very cheap, very cheap. I like that, you know. But the fact is this, guys, there is need for you to be in the world of one another. Let there be open communication. See, when you feel down, let him know. When you feel up, let him know. Let it be that both of you are literally communicating. You know, there are some people that are living in the same house and they're not communicating. And they ask this question, why am I even married? Now, I have so many people that I'm counseling at the time, like married people, that they have that issue of communication. They're in the same house. They're just housemates. They're not in a relationship. And, you know, if your relationship is more like a transactional relationship, is a problem. If your marriage is a transactional marriage, is a problem, and not a relational marriage. You know, in the sense that so many people are there just because they want to fulfill obligation. You are in Nigeria and your partner is wherever places, just ensure that you open that communication, chat with the person, send some things to her. Even if you know some of the friends around, sometimes in the morning, send a message that say, you know what, I'm missing you. Let the person, wherever place he or she is, okay, he now, your husband, let him know that he is very important to you. Let me just stop there by saying that let there be an open communication within both of you. Thank you very much, Ayo. You need to unmute yourself, Ayo. You are muted.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, PKO. I'd like Kemi to say something to that. Just chip in a word.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Delighted to be here. Thank you. So I think PKO covered quite a lot. But yeah, it's Valentine. I'm sorry, sis, that you're far away from your husband, especially that, you know, Valentine period, you're always together, spending time and all of that. We have to just find a way to, you know, bridge the gap, right? So I'm thinking if your career, if your work permits that, you could have, you know, some hours off on that day, and the same with your husband. I'm assuming that is possible. You guys might want to be online for that time, right? Sharing memories of the past, how Valentine has been, right? You can have a drink online. You can see each other. You can talk. You can, you know, play videos that can make you laugh and just, you know, talk about those times you've been together, and then relive those times, engage on them, bring out the good times, the bad times, the things you've learned, right? I'm thinking that could also be a way of reconnecting and still having a great time, you know, on that day. And depending on the love language of your partner, like PKO mentioned, if it's someone that likes poem, you may want to take that time to write a poem. If it's someone that likes a gift, you may want to take that time to send down a gift. Just spend that time seeing each other, right? And you may also want, depending on where you are, you may want the video to be a bit naughty, right? Wherein you are seeing each other intimately, you are having great talk, and just, I think by doing some of that, you won't miss your partner that much. You will still create an unusual Valentine wherein you're far away, but the connection is deeper. And I think that helps.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And I hope Anita has taken notes. You know, towards the end, she said some things. I hope you heard. Me, I heard. And I'm putting it in the kitty for future use. Okay, good. So, Ebu, I have a question for you. And I would like you to just help me, or rather help us, you know, take a look at it. We have, what is the reality of people who are divorced at this time of the year when there is so much love in the air? So what's their reality at this point in time? A lot of people, I have gift to saying, I'm planning this, I'm planning that. You know, what do you have to say to that?
Thank you very much, the House of Savior. It's good to be here. And You know, when I got the message, I said, oh, the interviewer is now an interviewee. It's awesome. And to be on this platform with PKO and Siskem, how are you? Thank you very much. So when the question that person asked is more or less like, so you're separated from your spouse, he's in another country, you are in another country. It's more or less the same experience that people that are divorced are going through currently. And the truth of the matter is, for the divorcees, the realities are different. Some will see that, some will be sad, some will see that, oh, opportunity to be alone, you know, that kind of a thing. Some will see it as opportunity to spend time with their loved ones. As in, some would decide to say, because for me, that's what I have decided to do. Last year was interesting. This year too, the plan is to spend time with loved ones. You know, when we say loved ones, the people that understand you and are not going to rub it in for you, because it's a very sensitive thing. And like I said, some people have outgrown it. Some people are just facing it. And I remember last year, one of my friends that was also divorced said, she is the outgoing one. She's the social bud. She's everywhere with people. And when Valentine came, she just discovered that she was alone, because all her friends went on Valentine with their spouses. That was when the reality dawned on her that, what? So all these people that I called my friend, they are not my, I said, why? They are your friend. You just need to face the reality. And this period is a very serious one for people that are divorced. Some see it as one of those things. Some see it as, some are sad. Some want to spend it with their loved ones. But it is a reality that I tell my clients to face. And just like the video we watched, Joe Dispenza said, the experience change your mentality, change your mental state. So you want to take a step back to ask yourself a lot of questions. I might not be able to talk about everything here, because divorce recovery, during the process of divorce recovery, we talk about a lot of things, the grief period, the emotional period and all. But for those that have not experienced that, I know that a lot of people are touchy right now. Some feel, oh, I'll spend with some have been able to change the narrative. We talk about narrative management, and some are still sulking. Some will sulk. It is just their reality. And whatever emotions anybody feel is valid. What we just do is to help them navigate and go through that process. I also tell people in this state that, say, you are divorced does not mean it's the end of your world. It's not the end of life for you. It's just the end of a phase or a session, a season of your life. And you're not supposed to mortgage yourself. PKO said something about aloneness and loneliness. There are two different things. You are alone is different from you're lonely. If you're lonely, then you need help. Because when you're alone, there is the tendency that you keep yourself busy, you have things going for you. But when it is loneliness, then there is a problem, because you need to be able to get hold of yourself. When we say love is neutral. Love should not dictate how you live your life. The end of love should not dictate how you live your life. And this is where we come up to talk about, in divorce recovery, we come to talk about self-awareness, loving up on self and all. So it's just a natural and a normal experience for people in their different stages. For Anita, I will say that my senior colleagues have said a lot of things, but you see, can you just bring back that memory, just like Joe Dispenza said, bring out the memory. The brain does not even understand if you're lying or you're telling the truth. Assume your spouse is here. Go on, thank God for Zoom, thank God for WhatsApp call. Just mesmerize yourself with that thought, and you're able to change the mental state. And that is what I want to encourage as many people that are divorced are on this call Please create a life for yourself. Create your reality. Enjoy Valentine. Enjoy it. I told somebody that I'm expecting cake, and they're like, are you in a relationship? I said, relationship. I'm not in a relationship, but I'm expecting cake, and I know it will come because that is what I want. I've been visualizing and creating that reality, Yeah, thank you. I hope I've been able to respond to that question, saying that people should show up for themselves and enjoy every moment for themselves.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ebon. Although Anita is not divorced, she's just married, different looking as her husband. So I'll just want you, Ebon, I'm not done with you. I would like you to give us practical tips. What can you do practically? You mentioned you showing up for yourself, you loving up on yourself. So what are the practical things that we can do when we are no longer with our partners, as it were? Divorce has happened, separation has happened. What are those practical things that we can do to love up on ourselves?
So I said the reality is different from everybody, but practically saying show up for yourself can also mean going on dates with your friends. You should have girlfriends, right? People that are close to your support system. If they are now engaged or they have their own partners that want to go out with them, you have friends. For me, I have Amala Kore. We talk a lot, and we talk and we gist, we talk about everything. I'm not in Lagos, so I'm here in Ilorin for something, and I'd already told my younger sister that what's going to happen on Valentine's Day. We need to go out. We need to enjoy it. Let's create a memory. Fortunately for her own husband too is not in Ilorin, so I have a team already. So you can do that and not make yourself, see, it's just one day. Can you not make big deal out of it? That's why I said show up for yourself. Create the reality, the happiness you want for yourself. Create it and enjoy it. If you have children, please buy a cake and celebrate Valentine. It's Lovers' Day. Lovers does not mean romantic. It's not only romantic lovers alone. Your children are your lovers. Your siblings are your lovers. Your mother, your father. You can decide to do a surprise. It can even be at the office. Before people go, before the office closes, say, you guys should wait till you need to celebrate Valentine with me. Cut a cake. That's what I'm saying. Just create a reality for yourself. And it's just a day. Can you just make it happen for yourself and don't allow the situation decide how you feel? Don't allow the situation decide how you feel. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ebon. Thank you for giving us those practical tips, because people, sometimes we can't even think of what to do. So when you give these tips, it helps them to be able to say, so I can do this. There was a movie I watched, PFC not to love the movie, for me, I enjoyed it. The lady actually ordered cake for herself, and they thought this lady happened to be married. So they thought the cake came from her husband, but really it wasn't from her husband. She ordered the cake for herself. It was later on that everybody got to know, what happened. So she chose to just make herself happy. So we can actually choose to make ourselves happy, because we know there are some of us who are even in married relationships and our spouses, whether the guy or the woman is not really into this, and you love it, and you've talked about it over the years, and the person seems not to, but can you for once just make yourself happy and do that which pleases you? I always tell people, even as a married person, go out on a date with yourself. Go out on a date with your girlfriend. Go out on a date with, people, like you said, people that you love, people that you have great connections, and not just get yourself boxed in and you're feeling alone, you're feeling lonely at the end of the day. So thank you so much, Ebon, for that. Thank you very, very much. So I have a question for KTA. I think that's what you're called. Am I correct? Yes, KTA. I made a mistake when I was trying to explain you to someone. I called you something else, and this was like, isn't the same person? So it's KTA. Okay, so what should be the main focus of singles as they get involved in love relationships. Because the truth is, in this season, a lot of, oh, will you be my girlfriend, will come up. And will you go out with me on a date, will show up. So what should be the main focus of singles, even as they get themselves involved in this season?
Right. So Valentine is a beautiful time. I love love. I love to celebrate love. And I'm thinking we have different types of singles. If I'm to answer that question to a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old, it's going to be different. What I will tell her will be different from what I would tell a 35-year-old young man or young woman who is, who is still single, not in a relationship. Because once you are above 30, pretty much your relationship dynamics change. You don't want to 30, 35. You don't want anybody to waste your time. You don't want to keep hanging out with someone you're not sure of the direction, he or she is taking you. So this season is actually not the season to fall in love. It's a very sensitive time. Yeah, the emotions are high. It's not a time. You don't want to start a relationship on Valentine's Day. I'm trying to think in my head how that is coming across. You don't want to say because it's Valentine, I want to find a lover, I want to find a friend, right? It's not just, you don't want to take that long-term decision on a one-day event, right? So if the relationship has been lingering before Valentine, maybe a good day to then say you are saying a yes to someone with every other thing checked and ticked. But you don't want to go all out to find love on Valentine's Day. So one of the things you have to have in mind, your motive has to be clear. So this time I want a sex partner. This time I want someone I can hang out with. This time I want someone to just fill in the space. I don't want to feel lonely. This time I just want someone to have a drink with. Be clear on whatever it is you want to do. And there are consequences and there are gain as well to whatever decision you want to make, right? But if you're a mature single woman or man and you are thinking, okay, if I find love this time, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I would first of all want to always address yourself internally. Where are you at the moment? Are you in a place of pain? Are you in a place of hurt? What's happening in your life? What's happening in your life pretty much, right? I want to just find out if you are really in a safe place, in a healthy place, emotionally, mentally, and with yourself. You are in a place where whatever it is that has happened, you have sorted it to an extent that it doesn't color your view. It doesn't, hinder you from seeing clearly and understanding that you are making a major decision as to who to date, who to be with. So that would be my first advice or my counsel, that where are you emotionally, right? Are you getting on that train of, okay, the dating scene, because I'm still hot, I'm pain, I want to pepper somebody, I want them to know I can get a relationship, our time is ticking, I'm frustrated, I'm lonely. No, we have to settle all of that. Because if you are still in that phase, there is a higher tendency you will make the wrong choice, right? Because you want to make that decision pretty much on some of the things that has happened in the past and not from a safe place, right? So that would be number one. So what else should you look for? Another thing I would talk about is you internally, right? Internal, what I mean is that all is well. And that's a lot that time may not permit to share. But you want to date someone. Are you clear on what you are looking for? Are you clear on what you want? Sometimes I ask my singles and they tell me all that they don't want. I don't want someone that will break my heart. I don't want a scammer. I don't want Yoruba Demo. I don't want the one that is broke. I don't. So what exactly are you looking for? Because you have to be clear. I'm looking for tall, that can handsome. Perfect. I'm looking for the one that has money. It's okay. I'm looking for the one that has help me now, 6 packs. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the one that has big bula. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is you are looking for, be clear about it. I'm looking for sound, decent, spiritual guy. I want to marry a pastor. I want to marry a street girl. I want a lady that is not decent. I want the wild one. Be clear on what you are looking for, because there's a reason why you have that desire. Bearing in mind the pain and the gain, there are consequences to whatever choices you make, right? So check internally. Are you in a good place? Be clear on what you're looking for. You want to get on the dating. Oh, okay. So let me.
No, please go ahead. I thought we were done.
Okay, maybe just one more, right? So if you are clear on what you're looking for, how can you find this person? Where can these sort of people be? Because the person you want is not going to be in every place, right? Some will be in the bar, some will be in the beach, some will be on the airport, some will be on your street, some will be in your office, some will be in your church. Where can I? You just have a mental picture of, if you want a street girl, you don't want to go to, don't let me say you don't want to go to a church, but sometimes you find some of them in the church as well, right? So I'm just saying that know what you want. So say, for instance, you want to shop for, a Lexus, right? You won't go to Oshodi now, right? You won't go to under the bridge where they are selling used cars or abandoned vehicles, right? Because you have an idea what you want, where you can get, such products. So that would also help. Where are these people? Where do they gather? Where can this connection happen? And that would also help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, KTA. There's a particular question in the chat, and it says, sorry, please, must we even celebrate? Must we even celebrate? Can't it just be spent as any other day? So this is someone asking, must we celebrate? Who will help us, I just want to
celebrate every day.
Think fastest finger between elbow. PKO.
So
must we celebrate?
Can I? All right, can I answer that question? Can you hear me? Can I answer the question? All right, because I can see Ayo is freezed.
You can go ahead, PKO, and answer the question.
Am I frozen or you are?
Oh, okay. I think he's the one for it.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me, please? I think it's the network, actually. I don't know what kicked me out, but
I can hear you, PKO. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. All right, now, I sincerely appreciate the question just asked now. In fact, that has been some of the questions, when we're answering some of these questions, that was the thing that was actually playing my mind. And when you use the word Valentine and all that, as good as it looks, the person that asked the questions just plays up his or her love language. Because there are some people that are actually their love language and their personality freaks. They are freak on dates like this. Some doesn't count, doesn't matter. Some don't even want you to express love on a particular day. They want the love to be expressed across board. And those questions are just playing up in my mind that should we really celebrate? Do we select a particular day to celebrate love, to express love? If I should answer from different angle, I would say yes and no. One angle from me says there shouldn't be a specific day that you need to express love. Because let me give you an example. Somebody said that a lot of people who felicitated Valentine's Day as a day where we have sex. Some people attached sex to it. And I love the perspective Ebu puts it, that is a place where you actually express love, not only to your spouse, but to the people around you. And seriously speaking, we are not supposed to actually express love on just a specific day. We are supposed to express it. It should be a daily affair. A daily affair. It's just like when you talk about difference between sex and love making. Those things are two different things. Men are into sex and women are into love making. For a man, if you have not entered, please don't forget I'm a pastor. When I'm talking to couples and all that, I always try as much as possible to be real. So please forget about now. For a man, if a man have not entered, he has not have sex. But for a woman, the woman are into love making, which means the romance, the torturing, the fingering. You know, you need to know how to play keyboard for you to be able to worship God better. Amen. Is that somebody with me? So it means that for us, you need to understand the fingering, how to do all these things. And all those ones does not just start when you want to go in. No, you start from the morning, pat her in the back, peck her, all these things. So are you saying that when you want to have sex in the night, you now wait till night before you do that? You have lost the battle from the beginning. So that is the same thing with Valentine's Day. You don't have to wait for just one day to now say to her, hey, I love you. No. It's, in fact, Valentine's Day is not the best day to actually express love. That is the truth, especially to your partner. Let it be something that is continuous. Now, like I mentioned, some of us married, if your wives, okay, permit me to say some things here. We are all, some of us understand this. We are all thinkers. Some of us are emotional people. Now, if your own, you think about the, okay, we say we have these three group of soulish people. We have people that think about the future. We have people that think about the present, and we have the people that think about the past. Now, each of them has emotional deposit that need to be done. Now, the people that think about the future, we call them the will people. The will people. The people that think about the presence, we call them the emotional people. Those are the feelers. Those are the people that move by the moment. And then we have the people that they think about the past. They are the mind people. Now, if you find yourself in that category of the mind people, those are the people that Valentine's Day matters a lot. Why? Because they derive strength and weakness from their past. They will tell you, I know the clothes you wear and all that. If your partner is in that category, then that Valentine's Day, that birthdays, that wedding anniversary matters a lot. So when you're saying expressing love initially, you need to actually know, oh, this person, I need to show the person I love the person. Now, this Valentine's Day is a bit different from Christmas because everybody's looking forward to Christmas. You know, some people don't believe in Val. That is the truth. As we speak, some people don't even believe it. Some people say it's even demonic. You come from the religious background. You know, some people say. So the truth is this, friends, that expressing love should be a daily thing. Yes, now people now make it special. So if the person is a mind person, you have to be very at least make that deposit on that Valentine's Day. It is very important. But if the person is a weak person and you are doing love on the Valentine's Day, you say, what is that? What is all that? Well, yeah, is it now this time that you want to show me is fake and all that? That is when the person, even the mind person, will now be thinking of all those bad things that you have done, and you will regard all your expression of love as fake. So this time around, we're saying, friends, that question, as I said, is very important. Let us express love. Use today as something that you will replicate on a daily basis. Not only today, every month. Make every month your vow day. Have a special day. And when I use the word making an emotional deposit, go out. Don't make it on a special day alone. Make it a daily thing. On a monthly basis, you have an appointment with your wife, just like you have an appointment with your boss and all that. Have an appointment with your partner that you want to go out. You want to eat out. You want to, all these things are what vow actually is all about. And let's make it a daily thing. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much, PKO, for that. Just to say a little bit on top of that, you know, it's Val's Day. To a lot of people, it's a special one. And to a lot of people as well, it's just for you to say, you know what, I see you, I value you. I just want you to know that you are a part of my life. You just want to show selflessness, you know, on days like that, especially for those who are in relationships. And if it happens that one of you or both of you believe in it, because that's what love is all about. If I believe, oh, this is something I would really want us to celebrate, and you don't really believe in it, but to show that I'm selfless in this relationship, to show that I value the things that matter to you, you know, you go out of your way to show that. And that, you know, reminds me, there are some of us who love birthdays. I happen to be one of them. You know, I love birthdays. I celebrate birthdays. No matter how little, we must do something. We must gather, You know, it may not be too big or something. Something must happen on that day to show that it's my birthday. So my husband understands that, and he knows that even if you're not making so much noise, you're not doing canopy, something must happen within the house. You know, everybody must gather and do something. So that shows, you know, selflessness. That shows, oh, I love you, I see you. So if you're in a relationship like that, it's important that you listen to your spouse, and, you know, so that the relationship continues to thrive. I hope I'm able to add one or two things to that. Okay, good. So let's go quickly
please,
again, Ebon.
Sorry, please, I just want to say something. I was just thinking that what exactly is Valentine's Day? How did we come about Valentine's Day? I think if people get educated about that, they will be able to decide what they really want to do on that day. Because Valentine's Day, I said, it's originated as a Christian feast day, honoring one or two. You know, it wasn't a day for lovers, actually. I think it was Saint, there's this Catholic priest, Saint Valentine. He was the one that started it, and it was a day to celebrate loved ones. Just like Pastor K said, we should just make expression of love, living in love. We should just make it a lifestyle. If you make it a lifestyle, it's easier for you. Fine, you want to surprise your spouse, your partner on that day, then it won't be like a big deal where somebody now falls sick because he didn't, she was not celebrated, or it was not celebrated on that day. I just thought I should add that, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. As we go on, I'll read the chat so that we can all, you know, just be in sync. I think PF made us laugh. He said, blood of Zerubbabel, when PKO was making all those descriptions and all. Then I have Anita say something. He says, but it's just like a day called Christmas, and we all plan activities towards that day. We say we don't love Christ every day. Again, when societal activities tilt towards Val, the left behind might feel awkward. And I think, you know, we all have said a lot around that. We should, you know, show love continuously on a day-to-day basis, such that, yes, we can say, okay, on Val's Day, I still see you, I still send you a gift, but it shouldn't just be that. It should be something that is a part of us, you know, even as we go through life. Okay, Ebon, this is for you. How do people who still want to remarry engage after a bitter divorce? So people, they've gone through a bitter one, a very, you know, terrible one, and they want to get married again. How should they engage when they get to the stage?
So are you saying how should they get engaged to another person, or yes, what are the things they should do?
Yes, they want to remarry. And so what are the things they need to, you know, get themselves into to ensure that they get into a relationship that is healthy this time around, you know, after a bitter divorce?
Okay, that's a good one, a good question. So the first thing I would say is for them to be healed, because divorce is indeed a very grievous thing. So there are different phases to it. You have the grief, you have the anger period going on, you have the sadness, time when you don't even want to get out of bed, and you're so sad. It's a betrayal kind of a thing when a marriage ends, because you started by telling yourself, I love you, you are the only sugar in my tea and all that, and divorce ended. So, and you see, when we talk about marriage in family systems engineering, we talk about the fact that two people come in with their different baggages. By the time the marriage is ending, the two of you you're adding another baggage, a different kind of baggage to your load. So that's where that's why I'm saying that there's a need for healing. There's a need for healing, And in healing, you will need to understand how to cope with the trauma, because every time a conversation come up, if you're not healed, it will be a traumatic one for you. I talk about divorce without feeling bad, without feeling any pain or sadness. And it is because I'd gone through the process, and it is because I'd gone through healing. And so I can talk about it without feeling bitter, right? So you need to have gone through that process completely, or else you will go into another relationship and you will go with the baggage. You will see your ex-spouse in every guy that you experience. Can you hear me? Because I see two people have dropped off. Okay. So you will see, you will just like, so I'm using what Joe Dispenza said the other time. I'm using it in a negative way now to say that the experience will change your mental state. It will help you to have different opinion about marriage. It will give you different beliefs. And so before you go into another relationship, you need to be totally healed. And going into another relationship, fine, maybe you have experienced it before, you will also go through the phases or stages that Kemi talked about, because it's like you're going to meet another man. And people say that, oh, you can't get a single guy, or you will eventually marry a widower or a widow or somebody that is also divorced, you know. Whatever it is, whoever it is you're going to get married to, you need to heal. Then, just like Kemi said, create, know what you want. And in divorce recovery, we talk about the strategies of managing the stress. We talk about the experiences. We talk about the relationship. We talk about self-care and your growth. In that process, you know who you are and what you want. So you're able to define what you want, not what you don't want. Like Kemi said, not what you don't want. What were your experiences in the old, in your past, your broken marriage? What were your experiences? You need to sit down and highlight all those things. Talk about all those things. Be true to yourself. If you have kids, you need to plan ahead for them. You need to know how to rebuild relationship. Now you're going into a blended family, because whatever it is blended. Your own family, as in you and the person you want to get married to, your family and his family, your ex's family, if you had children in that relationship, your ex's family, then your children are caught in between. So it's a whole lot. So you need to, and that's where the healing thing comes in. You need to be totally healed. You need to understand the dynamics that is going to be around all this. How do you cope? How do you build new relationship and new friendship? Your friends will change. Some will take side. So you need to consider all this before you think about going into another relationship. By the time my marriage was ending, I was very naive. I did not even know anything. And I remember PF telling me that, hey, boom, if you had entered another marriage before now, the marriage would have ended again. Because we don't plan ahead. We don't think about the possibilities, about the things that will happen. We don't think about ourselves growing. It's either you're hurting and you're angry and you want to get back at the other person, or you want to prove the point that, oh, it's not my fault, or loneliness comes in and you feel, oh, I need somebody, I just need to go into another relationship. If that is the reason, then it will end again. And that is why I think there's a statistics that says that 60% or 65% of first marriages end, but 75 or 85% of the second marriage end again. Why? You expect that if somebody had married before and go into another marriage, you expect that the person have learned a lot, right, from the mistake. But that's not the case, because a lot of them just go into another marriage, onto another relationship, into another engagement without preparing, without even getting a closure from the past one. So that's why that statistics is like that. And see, that is why we talk about generational cause. They say, you don't know that her mommy too was like that. And because her mommy is that is how, you know, all those, I think it was Zill that said something about generational cause. They're just mediocrity, ignorance that is being passed down. So now that all this, see, divorce, a lot of things are happening. Our reality right now, homes will break. We are not in the days of, my marriage has broken. It's breaking every day. You see it on social media, right? So this is the reality, and we need to face it. What will I do? And this was what I did when my marriage was breaking. I am from a polygamous home, and I was always telling myself, I don't want to end up like my mom. I don't want to end up like my mom. Just like Kemi said, see, the brain does not understand, does not. It will pick it. I learned that. There is a system to it. There are things you need to understand. Please forget about sentiment. Reality. I'm talking reality. You can go on social media and the sympathizers, they will sympathize with you, but you will be alone in your room and you will bear the pain and everything. Sit and think about all those things. Don't accept beliefs that does not empower you. Think about it. So, and in my own time, I had nobody to look up to. I had no mentor. But I was telling myself, I see aunties, neighbors that are divorcees. I didn't like their life. I did not envy it. And that was where the fear came from when I was going through the divorce process. Is my life going to be like them? Am I going to end up like them? And I keep reminding myself that I have a purpose. I have a reason why I am here. So if you remember who you are and you know why you are here, that will determine how you will live your life, and you'll be able to create that reality for yourself. So even when I didn't have examples, mentors, my pastor's wife was the only person I was meeting then, and she would tell me things. I'll be like, is this all? I knew there was a lot to it. So I decided to go on that journey alone. I decided to create my own reality alone, to say that all the examples I'm seeing, all the things people are advising me to do, I'm not going to do them. Because I've seen people go on that journey and this is what their result is like. They say, if you use other people's recipe, your cake will taste like theirs. So I decided not to go on that journey. People think I was crazy. People think I was mad. And I kept looking for knowledge. I kept looking for people that will help me understand. You know, from a polygamous home, we didn't understand what relationship really was. I didn't know how to set boundaries. I didn't know my limits. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I was just living my life, you know, like that. So I'm saying all this to say that there's a process to it. Don't just jump into another relationship. Don't just jump into I am 11 years single, you know. I've been 11 years ago, I got divorced. And I'm not saying it was palatable, but I went through the grief because I was telling myself, I'm going to redefine it. It's a state I want to redefine. And I would say God has helped me, and he has used a lot of people around to help me. And that is why I will go on the rooftop to announce and to talk about divorce and to help people recover from it, and to say that, please don't go into another relationship carrying all this baggage. What happened? Ask yourself. Now I can ask myself that, now that I am Ebun, the real Ebun now, can I marry me if I'm to get married to me? So ask yourself, with all the behavior, all the attitude, with all your anger issues and all, can you marry you? If you can't, then you need to work on it before you go into another relationship. I hope I've been able to respond to that, Ayo.
Yeah, You've done a great one, Ebu. Thank you so much. And you ended on that note. Can you marry you? Very important. It's always good to step outside of yourself, look at yourself from afar and say, if I remain the way I am, can I marry myself with all that I know? And if your answer is no, then that means you still have a lot of work to do. Heal. Ebu mentioned that we need to heal. We need to heal from whatever has happened to us. We need to grow. We need to, become self-aware. We need to, get to know ourselves much more and become better. There's something in the group chat that I'd like to, read and, bordering on this Valentine's. It says, this from Mommy Mo. She said, perhaps we should encourage couples to proactively agree what Valentine will mean for them outside of the Valentine season. That way, both partners will know the boundaries we rate one another. So beyond the Valentine season, what else are we doing to celebrate each other? What are the things that we are putting in place, to ensure that we celebrate each other? Then someone said again, don't accept beliefs that don't empower you. Absolutely. We should not accept anything that people are saying to us should be that we are taking and holding on to, should be that which promotes our peace and progress. That's which moves us forward. That's which makes us feel, empowered. Any association, any meeting, any gathering that we find ourselves in and sort of leaves us, worse than the way we came, we shouldn't, engage in such. Okay, I would like to go straight to KTA, and I would like to ask this question. What are the red flags to watch out for when seeking out love? So the red flags. The flags that are red, and you can see that, oh, no. Yeah.
All right. So a lot of times when we talk about red flags, we talk about red flags regarding the relationship. That what are the red flags to look for when you are with someone? But before I talk about the red flags in relationship, I always like to take it from a personal note, starting with yourself internally, because we also have personal red flags, internal red flags. And it's important that we clarify on that before your relationship. You can't totally detach yourself from the relationship because the relationship is pretty much empty. It is what you and your partner brings in and then forms either a healthy or an unhealthy relationship. So check in with yourself, like I always tell my singles, right? So character check, it's important because we live in a time where a lot of us, self-love, myself, me, myself, we are becoming more selfish and all of that. And so we are not really taking into cognizance how we then relate with other people. So check in with yourself. Where am I emotionally? Where am I when it comes to, my character, my behavior? Am I nice? Am I kind? Am I amiable? Am I, friendly? Am I selfish, right? Are you a selfless person? Because these are also red flags that can hinder you, right, from engaging, from finding the right relationship. And so it doesn't always have to be about, you meeting someone before all the red flags begin to come out. But we also need to talk about that anyways. Look at yourself and then look at if you're in a relationship with someone and in 1 week, they are calling you darling, they are calling you babe, they are calling you my world. In 2 weeks, they are asking you for money. In 3 weeks, they're already giving, maybe quite subtle, because when you are in a relationship, the early stage of most relationship, the emotions are high, the butterfly is flying, you are so enjoying yourself, the euphoria of that moment, right? And so it's a red flag if someone meets you in 2 weeks and is using all the endearing words on you, darling, my babe, my angel. It is well. And if the person also has just broken a relationship, is just out of a relationship, either of you or both of you. Say, for instance, you just got breakfast, you just got served breakfast, or you served someone, and it's just barely a month or two, and now you are in a relationship. it's a red flag for yourself. And if the same thing is also happening from the other side, it's a red flag. When the person is telling you, oh, I just broke up with my ex, they may just be looking for another shock absorber to calm down, and then you get into a mess. So that's another red flag. Another red flag will be someone who wants to borrow money from you. And I see this happening a lot right now. I even had a case about 2 days ago, wherein in 3 weeks, they have one problem. In 1 month, something has happened to their life, and they want to borrow money from you that they have barely met in just 4 weeks. It's a sparking red flag. It's even very high, because no matter what, right, you have just met this person. There hasn't really been any commitment like that. And you are telling me, borrow me 100,000, borrow me 500,000. Somebody's leg has broken. My mother-in-law, my mother is, has cancer. My something, is a red flag. Another red flag would be someone who wants to take the relationship very fast. They don't want to learn about you. They don't want to know you, right? Because it takes someone knowing you to love you, but they want to run the relationship backwards. So they're not talking that they don't want to know your values. They don't want to know your interests. They're not particular about how you feel, how you see the world, what's your mindset like, what are the values you are bringing, how do you see life? They're not interested in all of that. So they are the people who meet you and they tell you, I want marriage. Some people think that that's a good way to start a relationship, but I do not share that opinion, that you meet someone, however old you are, you don't start a relationship that will end in marriage with, I want to marry you. Can we be friends? Even if you are 50, right? You still want to engage that person for a few, months or thereabout before you. So it's also a red flag when someone just comes and says, I want to marry you. Because at that time, you are likely to lay down your guard. Oh, this one is serious. This one is coming with marriage. He doesn't want to waste my time. No, you will eventually waste your time. Even if she is a she, right? Another thing would be someone who tries to break your boundaries. You have things you do not do, and they are your policies. There are things that is how you have lived your life. And then this person comes from nowhere, and in a few weeks or months is telling you, what is that? Why are you that strict? Why are you like that? It's nothing now. They are your values, they are your principles, they are your policies. You have lived your life like that, and in some way it has served you. It's an empowering way you see life. And then this person comes. Say, for instance, you are someone who did not go to the club, right? I mean, there are different clubs. They're very, unhealthy ones. And then the person says, there's nothing wrong now, and tries to, discount, tries to, devalue, tries to make light of the thing that how you have lived your life. So when someone comes and they are after those things that make you, the things you have hold on to for years, if they do not value what you value, is a red flag. If they want to break your boundary by, I don't drink alcohol. I'm not saying those who do are bad. I don't drink alcohol. And then you make it an issue. Like, what's wrong with you? Everybody drinks. Am I everybody? Those are some of the, red flags to look out for. Another will be someone who avoids difficult conversations, right? You are with this person, and then when there is a little quarrel, they just shut down. I counseled a young lady one time. The guy will go for 21 days. That 21 days is like a pattern. He would just, you won't see him in 21 days. And on the 22nd day, he just shows up. And then, how are you, how far? And they get back again. And something happens, it goes for 21 days. So I've told her, if you marry, 21 days medicine. So when something happens at home, because it's a pattern, like we say, you don't marry a person, you marry their pattern, right? So he gets married, it may be in the house with you, but it will be disconnected for that 21 days. So we need to resolve that. So people who do not want to have those honest, deep, sincere, open conversations with you in a relationship, especially at the early phase, is a red flag. It could be hiding something, it could have problem with communication, it could have self-esteem problem, it could be insecurities, and it's showing up in the way they mask all of that. So those are some of the red flags to look out for. Another would be someone who also is asking you for sex too early. After 1 week, they say, I'm alpha now. What's up? Come to my house. After 3 weeks, 1 month, barely, right? Even if you want to whatever, remember the consequences and the pain. At least give a max of 3 months before whatever it is you want to do with this. Because 3 months, I'm not saying go and have sex for 3 months. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you don't meet someone, and then after a few days or few hours, and remember, someone would even ask you for sex the same day. that's a sparking red flag that can actually electrocute you if you're not careful. I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you so much. So I have some things in the, yes, it helps. Thank you. I have some nuggets being dropped in the group chat. Thank you so much, ma'am, for these books. We are looking at how to find relationships that are good for you, save people, and avoid those who aren't, by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. We also have Boundaries in Marriage by the same author, Boundaries in Dating, Boundaries for Leaders, and you can actually go on Amazon to check out many more books. Thank you so much, Madam BC, for sharing these great resources, and to be good for us, to take time out to check them up. Okay, I think I have just one more question before we wrap up, and that is for Eb. I'm not done with you, Eb. That is for you. What are the rules of engagement when your ex is now remarried from a practical point of view? So, yes.
Rules of engagement when your ex is now remarried. Okay, so when the person is not remarried, or when you are not remarried?
You are not remarried. Okay, it can be either ways. So, it can be remarried, he can be remarried.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a point there to say that the relationship is different when both of you are still single, separated, right? But when the other person or you are remarried, then there are rules to it. It's not going to be like before. And talking from, okay, so I will speak from a point of somebody that is healed and somebody that is, you might be working on yourself and the other person is not working on himself or herself. So we need to consider all that. And you will need to know how to respect boundaries, no matter what it is. Maybe you pick your call, you pick your phone anytime and anyhow before. You need to respect boundaries. I also want to believe that before you even get into that, after the court has dissolved the marriage, there are things you need to highlight on how to go, especially if you have kids together. There are things to talk about on how to go about the co-parenting thing, the rules that will guide the co-parenting journey and all. And the courts will give it to you and you will sign. Now, if the person has now remarried, the structure is there already, the system that you're running with is there already. This person is now coming in with another person. So you need to set the boundaries. Boundary setting is also in the list you will get from the courts, but you need to now respect the boundaries no matter what it is, because this person has moved on. This person has a partner now. And so you need to respect the woman. The woman was not there when you were cutting and bleeding. So you need to respect her and give her that regard. Then communicate clearly. All this will be easier for you if you have healed. That's just the truth. I'm going to talk, so because you said from a practical point of view, I'm going to talk about myself. Because I have healed, my ex and I now, if you see the level at which we interact, people will be like, are you sure, you guys, are you sure? What's going on? Because I have healed, and the way I relate with him, even if he's coming with a fight, by the time he sees the way I talk about it, and he will bring himself down. And we have done that over 11 years. And in fact, right now, he carry my matter for head. I was just in Ayol a few days back. Told him I'm in Ilorin and I needed to do some things. And, he just told me, said, because you don't have a car, just drop it somewhere. I will go and drop it for you. It's just like saying, I want to drop something. I want to drop something for somebody in Surulere and I'm in Bega. And he took the pain to come and pick that thing in Bega and took it to Surulere to drop for me. If you want to call, I know when to call. I don't call when I know he's having family time, maybe with his wife. He doesn't have another child yet. And my daughter lives in Ilorin with them. So I need to create a relationship with the other lady because my daughter is there. I don't do rivalry. I don't know how to do it. The lady too was coming initially somehow, but on my daughter's graduation at secondary school, you know, I said, no. You will have to join. Before then, I was in Lagos. She's in Ilorin with her. Visiting day. Please, you need to go and visit your daughter. She's your daughter, you know. And I told my daughter, she's your auntie. You need to respect her. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. And I'm not saying it's not going to be easy, but because I have healed completely, it is easier for me. I tell you, my in-laws, they look at me with shock, as in, what else can we expect from this girl? She's so impossible. One of my sister-in-law told me, you're just too impossible. On Christmas Day, she couldn't come to Lagos to spend the Christmas. She spent Christmas with them. I ordered platter to the house to say, my daughter is there, please. Let them enjoy Christmas. You know, that kind of a thing. This is because we have healed. Please, peace is very important. And that's what I'm saying. Don't allow or take in beliefs. Don't accept beliefs that will not empower you. Because peace is very important. I don't have, what do we call that? Maybe secrets or something that maybe I have a plan to do something. I don't even have time for that. So whatever they do now, I tell myself it's not about me, it's about them. And they are also watching what they do now. So please, you need to communicate clearly. I do that clearly. I communicate clearly, put the children first, please. I told myself my child will not be stigmatized. I told myself my child will live, she will not add up to the statistics of children from broken home. No. You know, I told myself, I set that clear. So even before he got married, I was always engaging him, even when cash was not coming from him, I will engage him. Every decision I want to, I will seek his opinion. And when he's saying something that is contradictory to what I want, at times I allow it. At times I will prove my point, you know. And so times when I allow him to have his way and something not too palatable happen, I don't come up to say, Shebe, I told you. I'll just be like, well, we can try the other option since this has not worked. You know, so right now, I think I'm so at peace because I know my daughter is in safe hands. My siblings were like, hey, where there is another, you know, I told you I'm from a polygamous home, right? And so there's that tendency for them to say, hey, are you sure? Hey, do you know her? I don't know her, but I know her dad. And I ensure that I allow her to see me. I talk to her, I chat her up once in a while. I send messages to her to the point that I think it was this Christmas or New Year, they sent a message, yeah, New Year. Thank you so much for all you, that's my spouse, my ex-spouse and his new wife sent a message to say, thank you so much for all you do. We wish you brightness, we wish you happiness. That's co-parenting and I'm doing it peacefully, I'm enjoying it. So I'm saying this to say that you can create the reality you want for yourself. A lot of people out there will say something contrary, but can you just start it? Just do it. It's not a popular method. It's not something that a lot of people will accept. It is because of the experiences that they have heard or they have seen. And so they are bringing, the body will always take you back to your past. But can you just restructure your own mental ability? Can you just restructure? Can you do cognitive restructuring? Can you change the narrative? When you change the narrative, you put in different information in your subconscious, and that's what play out for you. But if you allow your body to be in the driver's seat of your life, your body will always take you back to the past. Your body will always take you back to the things that, and it will affect you. It will now bring the feeling. When we read this, the secret is the feeling. That's what the book is saying. It will now bring that feeling, and that is how you will now be. They said what you focus on determines the emotion and the behavior and the results that you get. So you need to think about it. What do you want to focus on?
Yeah.
Can you start living your life from the place of effect and not a place of cause? I think Joe Dispenza also said that. And he said, it's going to stretch you. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. But it's going to be the best, because your results, you already know. When they say, the end from the beginning, you will be able to determine. It might not be, the in between might be rough, but by the time you get to the end, you enjoy it. I'm enjoying myself. Thank you, Aya.
Thank you so much, Ebon. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you for using your life, even as we're discussing these principles with us. We really, really appreciate and celebrate you. You emphasized the place of peace. And I think even for whichever status any one of us might be in, either as a single, either as separated or divorced or married, whatever it is, the place of inner peace cannot be overestimated. So each and every one of us need to guard our peace to ensure that we are in a place wherein we can always, serve the people that are in our environment from our overflow and not from a place of emptiness, as it were. So thank you so much, Dr. Thank you so much, KTA. Thank you so much, PKO, for sharing your afternoon for those of us who are in Nigeria, your day, let me put it that way, with us. We really, really appreciate. Thank you for the examples that you brought to the fore. Thank you for making it so practical so that people can from here, know what to do and begin to see life, in a way that at the end of the day serves them and brings out the best in every one of us. And I'd like to say happy Valentine's once again, to all of us, and do enjoy the week.